One of these roulette textures gets unused in Blinx the Time Sweeper. Can you guess which one it is? If you selected this one, then you would be correct. This is H_slot02 in the game files. Every roulette in the game uses this texture H_slot03, except for in 2.2 where the special roulette exists, which uses H_slot01. I feel like most people won't notice this because roulettes move so fast in game and that this one is kind of rare that most people would just brush this off as just another roulette, which I mean, they're right most of the time, except for in this level. But how fast is a roulette, and how does it determine if you've won or lost? The roulette will make a full rotation every 1.06 seconds. The way it decides what wins or not is actually really interesting. Let's imagine a line going through the center of the roulette. Now let's scroll through slowly. The roulette determines what wins based on if an image is more than 50% over the center line. So what looks like you'd hit dead center is actually too late, and it scrolls over to the next image. This gives each icon 4 frames to be activated, or 0.133 of a second, which means you can win gold when the roulette looks like this. Now, I know I'm going to scare some people when I show this, but this spike door makes casual players sweat, because in a casual playthrough, you use a pause, jump through, deal with the spiker, pause again, and jump through. That's already 2 time controls used in an already stressful level. And then you gotta do it again if you restart it. There's a couple of ways that you can deal with this door. The main method is using a time control like a pause or a record to lure the spiker out of the gate and dodge it when it comes out. Or use a record and use your iframes to jump through and deal damage. This can be done with a fast forward, but it's a bit trickier. I got really lucky at one point and I got this while I had a fast forward activated.
Now this is the annoying.
What?
Are you kidding me? Did I just fucking jump through the gate and not get hit? Man! Oh, never mind.
The World 2 boss, Caragon, is quite unique in the sense that it's the only boss that allows you to start a fight whenever you're ready. For some reason in particular with this starting area, the camera has changed to where you can move it around with the right stick click, and it will stay like that until you activate Caragon. I can't really think of a reason why this is like this in this level only. This doesn't happen in any of the other normal levels, and in the boss levels, the camera will focus on the monster at all times. Even when the monster is killed, the camera doesn't go crazy like it does at the start of World 2 boss. There's also a little secret in the middle of the arena. Caragon will sit there, patiently waiting for you to walk into the arena. For some reason, he also faces away from you when you come in. This does change if you enter the boss room from different angles, which I actually covered in this old Cool Things About Blinx episode I did. There's some pretty cool skyboxes in Blinx. Deja Vu Canals has this really cool skybox where you can see all these stars while it's daytime. Everwinter has this really pretty pink sun-setting skybox. Very easy to tell where it repeats, but it still looks nice. Mine of Precious Moments, black void of a skybox that makes you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. But what about levels like... That's not a level. But what about levels like Hourglass Caves and Forge of Hours? All of these levels are encased in an enclosed space where it's impossible to see outside of the map without going out of bounds. I was tempted to also put Temple of Lost Time with these two, but then I remembered that you can actually see the skybox in that level. But there is something I will show for that level later on too. So, levels that you can't see from the outside don't have a visible skybox loaded in. But in that level, the whole entire world is tinted a color. Hourglass Caves has a blue tint outside of the map. The boss arena doesn't have a color and it's just a black void. What? Hold on. What was that? Was that just 3 slow crystals falling through the map? That doesn't make any sense. There are no slow crystals in this level. It's just rewinds and pause crystals. Nah, bro, what is that? Yep, that's right. There are supposed to be slow crystals placed in this arena, but fall through the map. This is actually a common problem with this game. There are quite a few spots in Blinx where trash and time controls are not placed correctly, and it results in them falling through the floor. That's a topic for another video. If you want me to talk about this, please let me know in the comments below, wink wink. Anyway, back to Skyboxes. I said I'd talk about Temple of Lost Time because this is actually insane. Here's 4 screenshots of each world. There is something about all of these pictures that they all look different. Well, This is because every single level uses a different colored sky world. Level 1 is green, level 2 is orange or red, level 3 is blue, and the boss is yellow? There was always something visually different about these levels that I could never really put my finger on. Well, now I can confidently say that this is why. And the fact that they're all different is really funny. Forge of Hours level 1 and 2 have dark orange / brown world colors, level 3 has no color at all, and the boss world is actually yellow. Not what I was expecting, really. The sky world colors are actually really interesting and might be another topic I'll be covering in a future video. And finally, I wanted to talk about what you see below the boss 4 arena. It's actually the level 3 map, but a lot less objects and geometry loaded in. But did you know you can actually switch between the levels to see what's different? FreeCam saves the coordinates of where you last were, and it gets put into the next level. And it turns out that level 3 and the boss stage not only look similar, they use the same stage as a reference to each other. And it's really interesting to see what they change from each stage. It kind of sucks that you can't see the boss stage from stage 3, but it's also really cool to see the changes between the two.
Just want to say a big thank you to all the subscribers who have subscribed since my last major Blinx video, which was the Hourglass Caves reverb video, which was about 8 months ago. And then there was the speedrunning guide that I made during the end of the year 2024. I just needed a break from Blinx, I think, after that, because it was just a lot to take in. And I just been streaming a lot of Jet Set Radio Future on my Twitch for the past 6 months. I got a random sort of inspiration to make this video, and I have a couple of ideas that I want to do for the next couple of videos. I don't want to promise and say that I am back to making Blinx content, but I do have 2 or 3 videos that I want to make over time. Also, we're very close to 1,000 subscribers. Just want to say thank you very much to everyone who has subscribed, and that when we do reach 1,000 subscribers, it'll be another Q&A that I want to do. But when we reach 1,000 subscribers, I'll do a video where everyone can comment on that video, and then I'll make a follow-up video to that. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.